Straight up now, tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Or am I caught in a hit and run? Excuse me. That's a good way. Good way to open the stream with a belch. I think that's kind of perfectly apropos for a creepy old man hosted stream. That's all we know. Who's here? Ovu is here, and it's RJ Stevenson, Wolverine, Rexy Roo, Adam and Willie Place. Yes, it's little. Hey, Dose, good to see you in here, pal. And Tyler's in. I a little later than usual starting the stream today, but I just wanted to have a quick chat for whatever amount of time I've got today, because again with gaming, I'm having a good time with the gaming streams, but I do miss just hanging out and talking with you guys sometimes, a lot of times. Hey, Code and Dark Cowboy, you got a notification, Wolverine? You know, Susan apologizes. She didn't mean to send one. And Mike's here, Lud is in. Tron's here, Alucard. Are we killing kids? I guess everybody's got to have hobbies. I don't know. Always down for murdering children. 100 flavors of ice cream. 100 flavors of ice cream. Now that's a quality screen name. Sucks because I got my regular annual visit to the doctor in about a month and a half. Well, no, actually a little less than a month and a half. And so just before I go to the doctor, I try and pretend like I'm actually working on getting in shape so I don't get yelled at quite as much. So I haven't been eating ice cream and shit other than just for my stepdaughter's birthday over the weekend. And it sucks. I like eating. Eating's going to kill me. I'm already aware of that. So it's not like there's any surprises upcoming. No classes today, Daniel? Brax has got his schedule his final semester of college. He's got none on Wednesdays, tomorrow. The way his schedule worked out, he's got none. So whenever I want to see him now, in this last semester, I'm going to shoot up there on Wednesdays. Oh, having pizza for dinner? It's bad. Well, I tell you guys, no shit. I can eat pizza every goddamn day. Pizza and red meat. This is why I'm going to die from food at some point soon. I don't know how the hell I'm alive this long. But it's just amazing to me how often I can eat it and never get tired of it. Yeah, Deuce says food's great. I'll let it kill me. Yeah, it's gonna. There's no doubt. I mean, it's going to be, unless I were to get hit by a bus or something, food is going to be the cause of my demise. And even if I get hit by a bus, the thing is, if I didn't eat so much food, I probably would have been able to jump out of the way. So food is going to kill me at some point. Daniel says it's also my final semester, is it? We're glad we're done. Yeah, Brax has had enough. I mean, he enjoyed his college year somewhat, but it's like I'm done. I'm ready to be done. Ah, Lex. Lex says she's been ill for the past week and her throat's pretty ruined right now. Oh, that sucks. Sore throats are among the most annoying of illness issues. There's just no way around them or anything. Nothing for me anyway that works that well on alleviating it. Just annoys the shit out of you. Oh, Code says eating pineapple pizza will extend your life even more. I'd rather just go ahead and die. Easy call there. Steve says, what's Braxton planning on doing once he finishes? Well, his degree, his major is in game design. So he's got a few things he's thinking about. He actually just applied. They had open applications, can send in resumes for a writing position with the WWE. So he just applied for that. That'd be cool as hell. Milog says his basket almost ready to grow goatee, shave his head, and start his own reaction channel. The thing of it is, he's getting a degree in game design. He absolutely adores gaming, always has. But I can't convince him. He's just not motivated to want to do it, to just take over our gaming channel. I said, hell, give you something to do, something you enjoy, something you like. But he hasn't. And now his girlfriend, she hasn't been doing it much lately, but she was a Twitch streamer, so she's a big gamer. I tried to talk them into it. It's like, take it over, build something with it, but they're not into it. Wolverine says pineapple pizza, whatever that is the worst sin, culinary speaking. Yeah, Rick says, yes, game design, the thing that every modern child wants to go into. Pretty much. He got lucky that there's a good state school. One of the few things New York does well is their education. And the state schools here are pretty good. And he's lucky that we have one, it's about an hour down the road where he goes to school, that has that as a major. And he was all excited when he found that out. Hey, Patrick. I am a Cinderblock says the thumbnails always make me question stuff. Welcome to the club. I spend a lot of my time questioning a lot of things about life. My life. Excuse me. Chunky says, have you heard about WWE 2K22 thinking about making your wrestler Curtis Candy? No, I haven't heard about that. I'm sure if they do, it would be entirely to job him out. I'm sure I'd be getting my ass beat regularly. I'm sorry, guys. I just got some stuff I gotta stand on top of here as we go. Milog says, if Spaz Kid works on the next wrestling game, Curtis Candy, maybe he can persuade them to add in some old indie wrestlers. Yeah. Like I say, it would be just to job out. Call me Top Job. Keeping your mats clean. Willie says, script is written for my first short film this semester. Cool. Also, there's a hot girl in my psych class who likes AOT. Nice. Moral of the story is I need to watch AOT. Yes, you do. That's not, even if you take the hot girl out of the equation, Willie, that's still not a waste of time at all. Oh, I love Attack on Titan. Oh, cool. Connor says he just made Curtis Candy in 2K. He is my BCW champion. Yeah. Give me all the gold. How many of you guys, speaking of wrestling, watched the Royal Rumble? I thought it was pretty good this year. The Becky Lynch Doudrop match I thought was excellent. Those girls put on a hell of a show. They worked shit out of that match. I made a note about that, Lude, right in the description, or within the text that came along with the poll today. I'm just going to take a significant amount of time off from One Piece to let episodes build, and then we'll fit it in as we go. But I would rather do it in big hunks at a time. Welder for Life says, New York State schools are great, but sadly I grew up during Common Core. Yeah, truth, Welder for Life. That Common Core is absolute garbage. Pure bullshit. Yeah, that's true. And it is unfortunate because the New York schools are good. But again, anything that has, and again, I don't say this to be politically provocative or anything, it's just true. New York obviously has a very strong left lean, and Common Core was championed by the left, so you knew we were going to deal with it. Patrick says, if I may ask, I remember that you said that you was at a satanic blood fest. What was it like? And may I share this information on the great website of A Call for an Uprising? Must be the concussions taking over. I don't remember it well, but I'm sure it was a good time. Connor says it was very mad. I feel bad that 90% of the matches, everyone looking at the Burning Mania sign. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. I've seen better, but I thought it was pretty good. It entertained me. Lick says, I wanted to go into game design as a kid. Went to college for web design. Got booted. Now I'm in my early 20s depression arc. Aw, Licks. Come on, we got to get you on the other side of that arc. Get you jacked up, ready to go. Josh says, Curtis Candy is the #1 contender for the WCPW What Culture Pro Wrestling title in my 2K 2015 or 2K15. Nice. Who's got the belt now? I'll whoop his ass. Chunky says, also love the TikTok. Thanks. I'm having fun over there. It's funny how it's an entirely different audience, and it's really just in these early days of doing the TikTok stuff. Whereas here at the channel, well, obviously the Goosh, we're all about anime, but here at the channel, everybody has just become very much into the try not to laughs and certain reactions, and that's become the cornerstone. That's all really that holds a lot of interest here. But at TikTok, they are very much into comedy, straight up comedy, you know, whether it's just storytelling, joke telling, anything like that that's brief, quick, and funny. And that's me, brief, quick, and funny. Ask my wife. But but I'm really having a good time with that because I like that. And those types of videos, at least on our channel here, don't do well at all. I got about 900 followers so far on TikTok. And if I post a quick short vid, comedy vid, I'm likely to get more views on it there than I would with the 300,000 subscribers I have here. Steve says you need to go live on TikTok. Now you have 500 followers to get more followers too. Oh, I'm going to go live on there. I think it'll be fun, Steve. I will definitely be going live on TikTok. Yeah, so for any of you who are interested in that or have a TikTok account, make sure it's just at Curtis Candy over there. But make sure and come check it out because I'm definitely going to be going live there as well. You guys know how much I love doing live stuff, so. Dantes has been overwhelmed with anxiety lately. That sucks. Tried everything I could and it just gets worse. This is probably a long shot. Do you have any advice? I'm at my limit. As far as advice in general for anxiety, for me, the times I've been anxious in life, I've said this before, I don't know how much it helps other people. I always set like very small goals. I give myself something to look forward to. It can be something as simple as, we talked about pizza. It could be going to my favorite pizza place on Friday. Could be something bigger. Maybe if you're fortunate enough to be in a situation where you have a vacation coming up, maybe for us to be something like a Disney trip, even if it's months away. But I found that if you give yourself something positive to focus on, even if it's something small, something little, it really helps a lot. That, and of course, I've always had the advantage of, with having gotten into hypnosis so many years ago, and getting that kind of understanding of how the subconscious works versus the conscious mind and everything. It's easy for me to do a little self-hypnosis and just escape. And for me, that works well too. But setting those little goals and always trying to it's hard to say for sure. Depends on what your anxiety comes from. If it comes from other people, as I've said to you guys many times, one of the most important rules in life, I believe, is consider the source. Before you let anyone make you anxious or stress you out, make sure you're very carefully considering whether or not you should give a shit what that person thinks. Who's your favorite character in Family Guy besides Stewie? I don't know, Kyle, if I have a specific favorite. That's such a great cast. I don't know. It's probably Peter though. Peter's just a legend. I love Quagmire too, but Peter's just Peter and I have too much in common for him not to be a favorite to me. Hey, Nacho. Jake says, haha. Oh, KKK Motors just saw the most recent over at TikTok. Yeah, the most recent stitch. That one was fun, Jake. I like that. The kid's expression in that was really good too. The slow turn to the camera, like, what the fuck? Oh, do you? Anvu says, just followed you on TikTok. I also have 800 on there. Cool. I gotta say, I'm having fun with it because you guys know that. Comedy's my thing. And I love being able to do just those short, quick comedy videos. They're a blast. I've got a litany of ideas running around my head now that I'll be posting over the next few days. And I post a lot of my stand-up material. It's just fun. Rosa says, am I the only American that thinks Family Guy is trash? Not the only one, Rosa. My wife hates it, but that's not surprising. I've told you guys, my wife and I have the exact polar opposites for senses of humor. So you're not the only one. You guys might be the only two, but Oink says, I'm incidentally also having an optional game design course that I'm taking. I thought it would make sense to take it since I study computer science and they needed programmers. But so far it's a bit easy. Yeah. Well, that's what I told Brax too, with him taking that. Excuse me. Anything that is a computer and IT related degree, which of course that is something valuable, because he doesn't have to go to work right in game design right away. That degree makes him available for a huge wide range of different jobs. So that was my big thing, because I'd always told him, as long as you go to school for something that will give you a career path, I will help you pay for it. I'm not paying for it if you wanted to go and be a gender studies major. I'm just not, for something that's basically useless. And he was, Brax, I'll give him credit on that. He was always sharp and always well thought out on things. Rosa says, maybe girls just have better senses of humor. No, I reject that. No. Daniel says, whenever I'm feeling sad, I watch either Family Guy or Robot Chicken. I haven't seen any Robot Chicken in ages. I haven't even seen a lot of Robot Chicken. I've only seen a few episodes. That was always funny shit. I hadn't thought about that in a long time till you just mentioned it. Yeah, those were funny. Code says, knowing your comedy, how long do you think you're going to last on TikTok? Well, I have to tone down some of it, Code. Yeah, they get a little nervous over there, but I don't mind. Again, I've got enough things that I find funny that will be acceptable to them. See, I don't mind having to tone something down if they have those rules in place and I decide to become a part of it. So in other words, TikTok has their rules. I decide I want to do TikTok. I don't have a problem playing by the rules. Where I get pissed is places like what we're doing here in YouTube, where what is acceptable changes every other fucking week. You know, when I started this channel, it was, obviously, you guys know, that was 2011. It was a whole different landscape than it is now for what was acceptable. That's when it starts to piss me off, especially when they, like, YouTube in the current likes to go back several years on your videos and hit you with, like, community guideline strikes for stuff that was perfectly acceptable at the time you posted it. That's not a bad idea. Kyle says you should try not to laugh at Robot Chicken. I'd have to look, Kyle, and see. I don't know. You know, some of the companies block their stuff from being put out there, so I'd have to see. I don't know how they are with it. Hey, Matt. Oh yeah, when Joker said women aren't funny, I remember that, Licks. I remember. Jay says, with Spazboy returning to your channel, he's always welcome. He's not home. He's at school. But this is Brax's channel as well as mine. He's welcome here whenever he wants to be on, whenever he wants to do something, whether it's on his own or with me, whatever he wants. Oh, are they? Philip says Robot Chicken is one of those companies that are notorious for being anti-reaction. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, it's too bad. That would have been a fun try not to laugh. Milog says, for TikToks, what about some old tips of wrestling facts from your days in the indies? Not so much, just because it's all based on comedy, what I'm doing over there. You know, so I don't know how well that would fit. Anbu says, Co-19 update. Fudge, this man can't taste nada. That sucks, Anbu. Well, you guys know me. I'm an old school fat guy. I did not like not having my sense of taste, let me tell you. Hold on a second, I'm just checking something here. Actually, that's what I'm checking up on. Okay, here's the TikTok. Everything's good. Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about this today. Philip says, update on what's happening in Canada. Trudeau has fled the country. Our fearless leader, everyone. Two possibilities that have been thrown out are Germany or the U.S. Did he leave the country? I knew he does. For those of you who don't know, and I think most everybody's aware of this now, with what's going on with the trucker convoy and the 1.5 million people in Ottawa protesting the mandates and the shutdowns in Canada, Trudeau initially went underground when he said he'd been exposed to someone with COVID, which wasn't even didn't make sense because that's not what the guidelines say he needed to do. And now he said, well, I've got COVID. Who believes that fucker has COVID? I don't, not for a second. I can't prove, obviously, that he doesn't. I don't fucking believe I think that's a fucking lie. That was just to get him the fuck out of there. And that is one of the biggest pussy moves I've ever seen in my life. Holy shit, dude. Stand up and take some responsibility. What a bitch that guy is. Chippy Salt says, hey, Kurt, it's been crazy here. Floods have affected all train freight into our state, so all the trucking companies been running nonstop to cover it. Stupid, useless trains. Hope the family is well. Everything's good, Chippy Salt. Where are you? Which state? I'm trying to remember where I've seen a lot of flooding. Jesus Christ, that sucks. Yeah, you get, I mean, people don't think about it, but the rail system is still really important in this country for the moving of goods. God damn, that sucks. Anbu says, I'm going to dissing track you on TikTok, Sensei Bald. That's all right, Anbu. I'm good with that. Dante says, have you watched Smiling Friends yet? There's only 8 episodes, which is pretty funny. It was made by Zach Handel and Michael Cusack. As a matter of fact, Spaz Kid is way into it, and he had us watch a couple when he was home on the last vacation. So yes, I have seen it, and it was funny. You're right. It was really funny. Oh, you're in Australia. Okay, Chippy. I apologize, pal. I couldn't remember. Oh, I didn't know you guys. I didn't. Well, again, and all the Americans here will back me up on this. If we want information about any place other than America, we're not going to get it from our news media, because all they want to cover is whatever is the flavor of the month, whether it's Orange Man bad or Biden's doing the best he can, or, you know, because everything that our media covers is in some way trying to support their political team. You have to dig here to find any information about stuff going on internationally. But yes, that sucks, because even here, like I said, even in America, the rail system still moves a lot of the freight that we get. We rely predominantly on truckers, but the rail system still holds a significant amount of sway. Willie says, speaking of weather, here's a pro tip. If you are afraid to drive in the snow, then don't move to Colorado. You know, it makes me laugh here too, Willie, because I'm in upstate New York, and again, we have bad winters here. You're going to get snow this is the least snow we've had in ages. But you're going to get snowstorms. And I swear, every year on the first snow, it's like everybody forgot how to do it, how to drive in it. There are people off the road. I mean, on just minimal snowstorms, people off the road everywhere, everything's shutting down, accidents all over. It's like, you just came out of the last winter 7-8 months ago. How did you fucking forget to drive again? No, that they've covered, Steve. He says, has your media not been covering the Ukraine-Russia news? If so, I'm surprised. No, that we've been covered, because, of course, that affects America directly. And something that big they'll cover. But I mean, as far as anything that would be of human interest, like, say, major weather disruptions in another country or something like that, we don't get it here. Again, unless you dig for it, because it doesn't generate enough clicks. That's how the major news companies here do their triage. It gets noticed, it gets reported if it'll get them clicks. Jake says, so it's not only Michigan with the bad drivers first day of snow. Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about if it's the same way there, because Michigan too. You guys are going to have winter every year. You're going to get snow. And yeah, that's the exact same thing they do here. Just freaking drives me nuts. Hey, Chrome. Nothing much. We're just kind of shooting the shit today. Just having a good time, just talking. Casa, I love the racist Mario video. Yeah, that was fantastic. Uh, Daniel says California gets really chilly. Good thing it's a wonderful time for hot chocolate. My wife's got me hooked on hot chocolate. I was never really that much into it, and she drinks it all the time. And then this winter, for some reason, in the evening she'll make one and she'll ask, "Do you want me to make a hot chocolate too?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And so that was one more thing bad for me that I didn't need that now I enjoy. Expecting a foot of snow there, Anbu? Holy shit! They can't figure out what we're getting. We've got a storm coming in for Thursday, and we know there's going to be a storm, but where we are, just like the last one, we're right on the edge, so they can't. We could get nothing, and we could get a foot. It's that much of a toss-up, and that's the way the last one was. The one that just came up the coast. That one, they didn't know if it'd get far enough north to reach us, and it didn't. This one, they don't know if it'll drop far enough south down to get us, and we'll wait and see if it does. So we're not sure what we're getting here. Willie says the problem is that when we legalized weed, all the Callies moved here without researching where they were moving to. Screwed up housing prices too. I never thought about that, Willie. Yeah, because you guys, that Colorado was first in the country, weren't they? I think they were first in the country to legalize. I think. Them or maybe Hawaii. Didn't Hawaii legalize early? But anyway, yes, you guys had it before everyone else. I never thought about that. The Californians go darting east as soon as you guys legalized it. Whitty says you guys might be getting 10 inches. Yeah, they're really, really on the fence about ours. Just can't tell. Again, it's just because we're right on the edge of where it's going to reach. Licks says, I don't fucking know. It's probably going to rain again. Actually, that's part of our issue too, Licks, with figuring out what we're going to get. It's actually going to be warm that day. Warm for here. And they don't know, even when we do get precipitation, it'll depend on what time of the day. Because if it's during the midday, it'll be rain instead of snow. It's just going to be a mess. Oh, yeah, those are always the fun storms. Jake says, getting ready for a snowstorm here in Michigan. It's 40 degrees and set to rain for 4 hours before freezing and turning to 14 degrees and 16 inches of snow expected. That's probably that same front that's coming here, Jake. And it's riding a northern ridge. So as it comes through us here in New York, now the Adirondacks, just north of me, the Adirondack Mountains, are supposed to get blistered with snow. But they're just not sure how much will reach us. Indiana's getting 17 inches. Yikes. Holy crap. Rosa says, Curtis, what do you call a bad liar? Trudeau. Ain't that the truth? That's amazing to me. After he disparaged that whole movement up there, those truckers, and what he called them, a small fringe minority, and basically gave him the back of his hand, and now they get there, and he just turned into an absolute fucking bitch. No public statements. Flew the coop. Got the hell out of there. What the... Oh, man. Tsunami says, here in that part of Mass I live, we got like 30 plus inches of snow. Well, yeah, that's the storm I was talking about, Tsunami. That's the one that it stayed south of us as it went by New York. And then, like Tsunami says, crashed right into New England and blasted them. Where's my money, man? That was one of my favorites ever. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at, Deuce. He says Pennsylvania just says it's going to snow somewhere in the area and the amount. You have to tune in the morning to find out. Yeah, that's what we're sitting to. Philip says he's doing his usual name calling. That's not a surprise. There were 2 people seen with Nazi and Confederate flags, but they were run off by the protesters pretty quick. The Confederate flag guy was wearing a mask. Sus. Yeah, well, I saw that too, Philip. I see that, but the media, of course, the media having a very liberal lean, is going to jump on that. Within that crowd, if you see a Confederate flag, if you see any form of Nazism or anything like that, doesn't matter that 99.99% of the people protesting there don't want them there. That's how they'll try and portray the whole thing. Yeah, Trudeau's just, again, Trudeau is the reason the phrase bitch exists. Chrome says, I've had a good day today. Found a decent amount of manga I was looking for half off. Wow, nice. Also, I see Fairy Tail and Gintama are leading the poll. Both series I chose, so I'm happy. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be close, Chrome. Fairy Tail and Gintama, especially as we get closer, because what happens is a lot of people will see that who didn't vote for one of those two, that maybe the series they voted for doesn't have a chance, so they'll switch their votes to the favorite of one of those two. It's going to be close. H-Man says, "What's up, Curtis? I don't know what else to say." No, that's plenty. Short, brief, to the point, and a good icon pick. Good old Goku. So much fun watching the OG. Oink says, "Actually, I don't have a problem losing my taste if it doesn't happen too often, because I'm able to eat all the old stuff in my fridge. I usually don't, because I don't like the taste." That's true. The leftovers that you generally, it's like reheated, doesn't taste that good, but now who gives a shit? As long as it just fills the void at this point when you can't taste anyway. Ty says, "Reno, Nevada had no precipitation in January. Wow. Which hasn't happened since 1893. Really? I didn't know that. I used to be through Reno quite a bit back in the, would have been late 70s and early 80s when I lived in California. Used to be through there a lot." Andrew says, "Rams versus Bengals for the Super Bowl. Who you got, brother?" It depends on if you're talking about rooting interest or prediction. I will root for the Bengals, but I think it'll be the Rams. JJ says, "Curtis, how do you feel about Brady retiring?" A little surprised. I thought he was going to try and get one more year out of it. I thought he'd want to play in the year that he was 45 years old, but completely understand it. The guy's been through a lot, and you're pushing your luck. You want to be able to retire fairly comfortably as far as physically, and I don't think it's a bad move by him. I was never a big Brady fan, never a Patriots fan, never a Buccaneers fan. But the guy is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen play the game. It's pretty easy. Deuce says, "Socialist support workers rising up against authorities, except for when they're in power. Then you're just racist." Yeah, exactly true. Very true, Deuce. Jay Merced says, "Are you a fan of Karate Kid?" I am. Could you react to Cobra Kai? I love your reaction, sir. No, I just don't have time. With all that we do over at the Goosh, over at our Patreon, that's what really clamped me down on being able to do more. What's the series I'm trying to think of? Walter White, Breaking Bad, because it's just the time. There's so much time in editing them up for YouTube that I just don't have enough time in the day to do them. Stan says, "Curtis, do you like to watch anime AMVs?" I watch them a lot. You should definitely check out the breathtaking world of One Piece. Probably one of the most beautiful videos you'll ever see. It's really great. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I like any type of retrospective on shows I enjoy like that. Yeah, agreed, Andrew. He says Brady left without injury and won a shit ton, so like, hey, he's good to go. And I mean, he was he the most physically skilled quarterback ever? No, not even close. But he was the perfect quarterback, the perfect man to play that position. He had a good arm, he had an accurate arm, and he was insanely brilliant on the fly. I mean, seeing what a defense was going to do, and that's his legacy. And the guys that played against him, that's what I get it from, is the guys who played against him for all those years just said you couldn't fool him. And that's a big part of football. That's what happened to Patrick Mahomes on Sunday. The second half, he could not figure out what Cincinnati was doing on defense, and he played terrible. And that's something that no matter what else Brady never fell into, you could not fool Tom Brady. He could read your defense. And that's when you're that good at your job and you're that good at reading a defense and you have the skill set he does. I mean, he has an accurate arm. You're in trouble. Let's see. Philip saying to Chrome says, "In Ottawa, the mayor is calling for the removal of the truckers, but there's no way to enforce it without violence, and that'll just pour gas on the fire." Yeah. Go ahead and give that a shot. You're right, Philip. would that get violent in a hurry? Yikes. Oh, always love Notre Dame, Mr. Shank. I mean, I've been a Notre Dame fan since I was like 5 or 6. Yes, love my Irish. I agree with that part, Johnny. He says, I fear Donald is going to eat that O-line up, but I still got the Bengals easily. See, that's what I'm afraid of is the only thing I've seen with the Bengals in the last couple playoff games, they've settled for field goals too often. And I do think the Rams are the best defense they've faced in the playoffs. And I'm afraid they're not going to be able to score enough to keep up with the Rams. Let's say I'm rooting for the Bengals, but I just, if I have to pick a winner, I gotta pick the Rams. Rosa says, by the way, I'm going to France like today. I finally got my days off, so I have to get going to the airport in 47 minutes. First location I'll be going is Verdun. Good for you, Rosa. Oh, that's awesome. Have a great time. That's fantastic. That's very cool. Philip says, in the case of Canada, it's even worse than them just being left leaning. They're literally being paid by Trudeau. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation is funded by the government. Yeah, that's unnerving. I agree. It's just not a good situation at all. Code says, I'm rooting for Bengals to win. Can't have a team from California winning the Super Bowl. Yeah, like I say, I like Joe Burrow. I love Jamar Chase. I think he's brilliant. Wow, what an amazing rookie year. And never been a Rams fan, so I hope I'm wrong. I mean, again, if I have to make a pick, I think the Rams win. But and put it this way, it's certainly not a slam dunk. It's like, yeah, I don't see any way the Bengals could pull this off. It's nothing like that. I'm just saying, if I had to pick who I think is going to win, I just think the Rams defense is a little too much for the Bengals. But I could be entirely wrong. Well, for Life says, my team is the Bills. What's yours? In NFL, I've always been a Cowboy fan. I was rooting for the Bills. Once the Cowboys got it, I was rooting for the Bills right along and would have rooted for them all the way unless they had played the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. But it really pained me when they did not squib kick that kickoff. Why he didn't just send a worm burner screaming down that field, it cost them a chance to move on. Johnny says, Burrow gets nailed constantly and is still able to keep his composure. He's incredible. That was amazing, Johnny, against the Titans. 9 sacks. You're right. That, and especially for a young guy, to keep his composure, a lot of quarterbacks, most every quarterback, gets taken out of their game after they've been hit that many times. And at least to this point, there's a lot to be said for youthful vitality. But goddamn, I mean, that kid just got beat up and just kept getting up like, fuck it. Let's keep playing, boys. And that's saying something. I mean, he took a horrific beating. Hanbu says, I'm a Cardinals fan, so screw the Rams. Daniel says, I'm betting $100 on the Super Bowl. I hope the Rams don't disappoint me like the 49ers. The 49ers, unfortunately, because when you're a Cowboys fan from way back, of course, you're one of your nemesis are the Niners. Back in the 80s, they had great rivalries, the Cowboys and Niners, 80s and the 90s. And I will say the 49ers are a good quarterback away from being really scary. I think that's the only reason that they're not heading to the Super Bowl is Jimmy Garoppolo is just really, really average. Really average. If they had a good quarterback with that defense, the receiving core they have, that freaking Deebo Samuel, the beast that he is, yeah, it's all about the quarterback position with them. Hell, this has been so. Look at the Bears. For the last probably 30 years, it's been that way for the Bears. I couldn't tell you how many times they've been a good quarterback away from being a Super Bowl champion. Dick Fiddler says, if he cared about anyone at all, he'd read comments. Who are we talking about, Dick Fiddler? If he cared about anyone at all, he'd read comments. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, Tsunami says it's incredible how quickly Burrow and Chase turned that organization around. Burrow, you got to give Burrow credit. I'm not even necessarily a fan per se. The kid's bad at. He's cocky, but you got to be at some level. And he goes out and he gets shit done. God damn. Anbu says, I wonder what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I mean, just my guess. I don't think he'll stay in Green Bay. I don't know. I just think there's been too much bad blood there. I could be wrong, but I don't think he'll stay. Maybe. Philip says the media said the protesters defaced the Terry Fox statue. They put a flag and hung a sign on him. I get wanting to keep the dead neutral, but I'd hardly call that defacing. Yeah, all stuff that's all things that were easily remedied. Dick Fiddler, what are you still fiddling with your dick there? This guy keeps ignoring comments. Every once in a while, the real winners pop in here every so often, don't they? Johnny says Burrow is confident, but if it doesn't come off as condescending. No, it doesn't. I love the way he carries himself. Yeah, he's definitely cocky, but again, that's not always a bad thing. Nope. And the other thing I can say for him is it cockiness when you back it up? He's got that swagger, but he's kind of earned it right now. Code says, who's your top 5 quarterbacks of all time? Oh, off the top of my head, that's rough. I've been around a long time. Obviously, you have to put Brady right at the top, and Peyton Manning has to be in the top 5. Oh, then it gets rough. Elway was brilliant. Johnny Unitas was brilliant. Some guys that a lot of people put in, I wouldn't, are even as a Cowboy fan. Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman was an excellent quarterback, but he got those Super Bowls because his team was ridiculous. That offensive line is still the best offensive line I've seen in football. Terry Bradshaw was great. I don't think he's top 5. Same thing. Those Steeler teams were just phenomenal. So I don't know. It's tough after that. Like I say, you'd have a lot of. I never liked Dan Marino at all, but as far as pure talent, you have to include him as a contender. His talent at quarterback was undeniable. Yeah, it's tough after those two. For me, Brady and Manning, Peyton Manning, are definitely in. After that, you can make a case for a lot of guys. And you have to consider Rodgers too, even though I don't like him either. Gave me 10 seconds with Dak Fiddler. I'll beat it hard. Anbu says. You can't talk to commenter like that, Dick Fiddler says. Jeez. I'm glad you explained it to me because I would have sworn I already did. Yeah, I know. Quick says, "Trust me, that's Mile by Curtis standards." Yeah, I'm floating too happily today, Lex. I lost a little bit of my edge here. I gotta get a little meaner. Chrome says, "Well, there's like 50,000 truckers and over 1.5 million protesters, and it hasn't turned into all-out riots and burning cities of peace. Doesn't that say something? These are just normal people." I agree 100%, Chrome. Just normal people with legitimate gripes. That's all it is. Daniel says, "Hey, Curtis, what do you think of Dak Prescott?" That's a tough one, pal. As a person, I love him. I love that kid. I think he's got a great attitude, great personality. I think he's a really good quarterback. He definitely took some steps back this year that concerned me. He did not play well in a lot of big games. I mean, he didn't come apart. He wasn't the only reason the Cowboys lost games, but he didn't win a lot of games for them that he could have been able to. Made some bad decisions, some bad throws. So, I don't know. I'm still in his corner. I still want him as my team's quarterback, but I was a little concerned at the end of the year. I just hope that was an anomaly. You know what? It's funny, Johnny. He says, "I'm surprised you didn't say Montana because of Notre Dame bias." I've always said, because the way he's conducted himself, comported himself, Joe Montana is one of the few Notre Dame grads that I just really don't care much for. He really got under my skin when his kid was at Notre Dame, Nate. And he said, Montana said some horrible things about the university, basically because his kid wasn't getting a chance at quarterback. His kid sucked. His kid left Notre Dame and went to a junior college and lost the starting job there. And Montana was a real bitch about the whole thing. And I've always seen Joe Montana as kind of a bitch. So it pains me to say it, because you're right. He's a Notre Dame legend. But I just, as a person, I don't like the guy. And, oh gosh, what's his name? There were such a complete yin and yang as far as Notre Dame grads. Montana was an absolute bitch, talking shit about the university because his kid sucked. And then you had his name's is a lineman at Notre Dame, and both his kids played there. He's an ESPN radio commentator now. But anyway, his name's just completely escaping me. Both his kids were there, and he said on the radio, because one kid wasn't a starter, and they asked him about it. Somebody had asked him in an interview about, he's a legacy, he's this, he's that, blah, blah, blah. Does it bother you that he's not starting? He says, listen, I told my kids since they were little, you want to be a starter? There's one way to guarantee you get there. Be better than the guy in front of you. He said, no. He said, that's up to my kid. He wants to be a starter, get better than the guy in front of you. And it's like, that's how you parent. Not Joe Montana crying for you because you're not getting your deserved opportunity that you absolutely do not deserve. Yeah, Dan Quinn staying with the Cowboys. I was surprised by that, Daniel. I thought he was going to take a head coaching spot somewhere. AZN says, Joe Burrow, lunar year of the tiger. Go into LA and take over. You think any crazy stuff will happen in the Super Bowl, not just gameplay? There's always a chance of that, AZN. Hell, we've had wardrobe malfunctions. We have all kinds of things that were going on there. Dick Fiddler says, if this dud, it's not nice to call somebody a dud, read comments more, I'd be happy. Well, Dick Fiddler, this channel is all about fucking making you happy. I don't know that I can read any more comments than I am, but I'm going to try now, because, guys, Dick Fiddler's not going to be happy unless we read more comments. And we all know that this is the internet, and everything to each individual is about me, so we got to make them happy. Ambu says, today's topics, football, weather, dicks. Those are such great shows. Dick. Oink says, okay, enough sports ball. What is your favorite kind of hamburger? Plain. You know that, pal. I am Mr. Don't eat any toppings. I don't eat condiments. Any hamburger, plain. Oh, you guys are getting me. I don't feel like it's about 20 minute drive from here to go to Five Guys. You guys are making me want to go do it. I started Yakuza, Always Gaming, and then I got sidetracked and ended up on GTA 5 and God of War. I do want to go back to Yakuza at some point, but I'm going to start over when I do. Dick Fiddler Boys Comedy. That's right, gone. We don't have any Steak and Shakes around here, Wolfpaw. I really like Steak and Shake. If you go south in the state, they have them down there. And so I've had them, but we have none in this area. Five Guys or Steak and Shake? Oh boy, that's a toss up. I like both a lot. That one's close. I'd have to have steak. I've only had Steak and Shake a couple times because, again, it's not around me. I'd have to have it more often to make a fair judgment. But yes, I do like it. Doc Fiddler, Dick Fiddler is probably a Catholic priest. Wolverine says, wouldn't that be Kid Fiddler? Stormstar says, started dieting and working out today, so thanks for bringing up Five Guys. Really appreciate that, Stormstar. I tell you, I've been trying to eat better too, but with me, it's different. If I was still wrestling and stuff, you try and really work on the conditioning. Now, I just want to be in good enough condition not to die. So what I do is I try and eat right with breakfast. I try and eat right with lunch. And then dinner, I'll just let myself pretty much have whatever I want. Because if I work out, again, I'm not I'm not looking to get ripped. I just want to survive. Trevor Andrews says, have you seen much Key and Peele? They're individual skits on YouTube. And saying, I love those guys. They're so freaking funny. they're so freaking funny. Tsunami says, Nate Montana definitely isn't no Arch Manning. I have a feeling that kid is going to be incredible. He looks scary, Tsunami. Jesus Christ. Well, obviously you have seen some of the clips of the throws that kid can make. What the fuck? He could be the best of the Mannings, and that would be saying something. Jesus. Whew. It's going to be interesting. See, where do you think he's going? He still hasn't declared, right? I wonder where he's going to end up. Maybe Ole Miss? I don't know. Wolverine says, if you ask for a Cajun seasoning, Five Guys will give you it. Ooh, I couldn't eat. Wolverine, I can't eat that shit. You guys know I'm the biggest puss in the world when it comes to spices. Dude says, what do you want to do is look like Tyson Fury. He's the ideal well-rounded male. Actually, I wouldn't even mind that. Even though he looks like the Blob. That's all I'm after. He's in great cardiovascular shape, though. I mean, the guy fought some wars, went deep into fights, and was right there. That's all I want. I just want to make sure that my cardio system is working well enough to support my life. Let's see where we at here. No, I haven't. Chrome says, by the way, have you seen Redditor's responses to Canadia's Hong Konging? It's been pretty funny. No, I can imagine, but no, I haven't. Mr. Shank says, I've been watching old videos of you and Spaz talking with Evie Bot. I missed that. Yeah, the bots were fun. Excuse me. Stormstar says, Lita is coming out of retirement to face Becky Lynch at Elimination Chamber. Do you think they're just doing that to get people to watch it since it's in Saudi Arabia land? I don't know. I didn't know she was. I saw that she was. Obviously, I saw she was in the last pay-per-view, the Royal Rumble. A bunch of guys that came through our wrestling school and used to work with me went to Florida to Dory Funk Jr.'s training camp many, many years ago. Lita was there. That's where she got her start. So they all got to know her. Said she's an absolute sweetheart. So I've always had a good opinion of her. She could work a match like nobody's business back when not many of the women could work a match. But you could tell she's been away from the ring a lot. Just in what she did, she had a couple of botched spots just in the Royal Rumble and stuff. So I'm kind of surprised. Although, hey, it's to be expected. She's been away for a while, but hopefully it goes well for her because I like her. Bama or Ole Miss Tsunami, that's what I was thinking too. Oh, jeez. Don't let fucking Saban get a hold of that kid too. I'd so much rather have him go to Ole Miss. Jesus Christ, Saban. Amdo says I get super nasty on Whataburger. We don't have any Whataburgers around here either, pal. None of those either. I know we're missing a lot of good chains in my region, this Capital District region of New York. Sitting in a lawn chair says, my life motto, doesn't matter if it's frowned upon, as long as it's legal. Example, jacking it on an airplane. I like it. Hey, Kenji. My wrestling name, Hawkmask, was Curtis Candy. That's what, I had others, but that was the one I had used the longest, the most recent, and I just really became fond of the character, so now I just use Curtis Candy in anything I do in entertainment. Oh, here's some Redditor responses. Hold on here. I want it from Chrome. I want to check these out. Our kitty fear pooped in our bed. Those are pretty good. Let me see the other one. Now using people's lawns as toilets. The horns are driving me mad. Good, you love Nazis and fascist conspiracy theorists. Oh, don't. I have a full migraine while I had to work. Their big boy fash horns. Causing full migraines. What a bitch. Oh, that's funny. It's almost like what they're writing there, or what they had posted, is if they were trying to intentionally fuck off, Jane. If you're going to lampoon someone, that's exactly what you would post. You don't need to, because they'll actually do it themselves. AZN says, Curtis, you ever see Mucha Lucha? Old wrestling cartoon. No. A lot of Mexican folks fighting with masks on. It used to be on 4Kids back in the day. Oh, really? No, I was never a big fan of the luchador style. Nothing against it, just wasn't my cup of tea. It's not, obviously. I was never going to fit in the luchador style. So I was never that into that. But again, nothing, don't get me wrong, nothing against them. It's just not my particular style. Not my cup of tea. Um, do, 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 ba-do-ba-do-do-dee. Are you a heavier sleeper because of the train? I've always been able to sleep, Trevor. It's funny how, well, it's just being a parent, I think. I can sleep through pretty much anything, but if all the time they were growing up, and even now with my stepdaughter, if they make a sound that's out of the ordinary, I'm up immediately. But no, the trains were never a big deal. Plus, now, fortunately, our bedrooms are substantially further away in the house. I am this right to my right here is the window into our backyard, which is right facing the train. We're across the hall, down a ways for our bedrooms, so you don't hear them nearly as loud. Hey, thanks, Arthur. I appreciate it. Where did I wrestle Hawk Mask? Oh, over. I learned back in the early 80s when I went to San Antonio, I lived in New Mexico, to wrestle Joe Blanchard's group, that I would rather stay in the indies than be on the road 250 to 300 days a year, because I was always all about family. So wherever I've been, I wrestled the indies, and for, the last 30 years, it was up here in the Northeast. So I've wrestled independents all over the Northeast region. Dick Fiddler's getting his messages deleted. Oh no. Is this another one in desperate need of attention? What the fuck? Why did these streams attract these life losers who just have nobody that'll pay attention to them in real life? So in the real world, the day-to-day, face-to-face world, and so they come here. Excuse me, sorry guys. Pleading and begging with us to give them some attention, negative, positive, anything. Just touch my head and tell me I have value type things. Oh, absolutely. Johnny says Cooper Manning gets shit on a lot, but I love the guy. He was a great athlete, but he got injured. Yeah, and you know what, too, Johnny? He's a really good sport about it. I mean, even that one commercial they have there, who is it? The rap star there says something about Cooper being his favorite. Cooper's always had an excellent sense of humor about that. No, I like the guy. I like the guy a lot. Arthur says he's just fiddling. Mods don't want the kids to see. Yeah. Hold on. Chrome's got one of the best ones here. Let's see. Hong Kong. I can't stop crying. My wife and I have been suffering extreme anxiety and sleep deprivation. There's a giant truck pulling its horn right beside our apartment. My wife says she's going to go to sleep at a male friend's house. Yeah, that's what it is, pal. She's leaving because of the truck horns. It's not going over there just to get some strange dick. Sentient Lawn Chair says, looks like your magnificent white beard is enchanted with loser attraction for. AZN says, had a dream about a train as a kid. My whole class, the train was on a bridge in a rainstorm. The bridge fell and cut us out. Fell in river. Nightmare. Yikes. Yeah, that qualifies as a nightmare. Jeez. What happened to Big Green? I don't know. Well, I know Big Green has been having. I mean, he could just be doing something today, but I know he's been having some significant internet issues on and off too. He was telling me about it the other day, so I don't know if he's still struggling with that. Excuse me. Jake says, I enjoy watching the Manning cast opposed live broadcasts. They are good. They're really entertaining. Like says, careful, Curtis. You shouldn't insult losers. We make up the majority of your audience. Nah, I disagree. Well, I mean, I disagree any more than in the respect that if you guys are losers, so am I, because we're all in the same boat together. And then we get somebody who, like this, who is definitely outside the boat in a whole different realm, a whole different world of loserdom. BG's off trading slave children in Africa. Thanks for the update, Lude. Like I say, he might just have something going on, but I do know he's been having some wicked problems with his internet. Look, stop it. Jesus Christ. Luke says, unfortunately, Big Green passed of heart failure. We miss him dearly. You know, if anybody passed of heart failure, it's going to be right here. You guys are funny. Oh, no, Joe's around. Warren says Jojo Kage hasn't been seen in months. No, he shows up on it was comments at the Goosh, as a matter of fact. I was trying to remember if it was the Goosh or the YouTube channel, but it was right in the Goosh. No, he's there. As recently as a few weeks ago, I've seen him, pal. I know he just had some, last I talked to him at any length, he's just had some life changes, things different in his life where he just doesn't have as much time as he used to, but he's still around. This is true. Lex says it's a good thing he was banned. He called you a dud. We don't take the kind of foul language on this channel, on this Christian channel. Correct. I got the vapors a little bit. I didn't know if I was going to be able to handle that. I almost went down. I went down. Chrome says, you want to know the best part? This is still the early days. Truckers on drugs can last weeks, and the fund for the protest said they have enough to last at least 3 or 4 years. Oh, I know they've raised tons of money for them. Holy shit. Jake makes a good point. When you're a loser to losers, you've really failed at life. Big Green will be remembered dearly. You guys stop. You guys are funny. Oh, no, yeah, BG's fine. Well, Lick's just started busting his balls. He's been on the streams all along. He's just not here today. But again, I know he's been having miserable issues with his internet. Rosa says, actually, I identify as Jewish. I'm offended that you consider this a Christian channel. I've always said, Rosa, you know what, even in this hypersensitive world we live in, the one thing, it seems like two groups that you can always still joke about and nobody really bothers to come to their defense or have a fit are Jews and gingers. You can rip on them all day and nobody cares. Arthur says, next post, please. Had a dream that my dog shoved her head into my stomach, pushing my organs in against a wall. I could feel her head and neck breaking. I woke up shoving my fist into my gut with dangerous force. Yikes. Holy shit. I'm mentally stable, right? He says. Freud would have some fun with that one, Arthur. Who's this for real, though? BG took a trip to Taco Bell and has been promptly arrested for breaking the Geneva Convention by executing the toilets. I can sympathize there. Oh, shit. Oh, it's after 3:30. I gotta go, guys. Thank you for coming hanging out in this. This was so much fun. God damn, I am gonna... Again, I love the gaming, and we'll keep doing gaming streams, but I'm mixing these in more and more often. I just love this. This gives me a rise to my whole day. I just feel good after these. Thank you for hanging out with me. As you know, it's Tuesday. Again, kind of meh, sticky stuff. But we had some lively conversation, and in support of the truckers up there in Canada. Let's see if I can't just give it a little extra diesel. Get it? Because trucks run on diesel fuel. A little extra diesel into the sticky stuffs today. So here comes Pound for, sticky stuff for you, 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 with a little extra diesel in it. Odor's not maybe everybody's cup of tea, but it's very important that it's there. Because we'll bang, okay? Flashly like Buggy, and as always, most importantly, yeah, come on. We all know it's diesel every day. Goose, 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 goose. Goose.